Bom, agora, gente, é hora de conhecer sobre Cognac e sobre Armagnac, porque tem os comuns e os famosos, como champanhe, mas tem os crème de la crème, e hoje nós vamos degustar crème de la crème. Depois eu conto tudo para vocês como é que foi.
And I will explain to you the difference between Cognac and Armagnac. And I will explain to you the story about Cognac LHERAUD, the family story, and you will see why we are different compared to the other producer. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to show you a little video just to show you the 4 steps of a Cognac and of course an Armagnac.
Okay.
The first one is the vineyards, okay, because the Cognac is coming from the grapes. So you have the harvest in the first step. Then you have the second step. The second step is the vinification and distillation, of course, because Cognac and Armagnac is a distillation of wine.
Okay.
So this is the second step, fermentation and distillation. The third step is the aging, very important, of course. Minimum 2 years to give the name Cognac or the name Armagnac, very important. And the last step is the bottling. So in this video, it's only a short video of 40 seconds. You will see like few photos, a few things of Cognac LHERAUD about this 4 step.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you. So, LHERAUD family. There is 3 generations working together nowadays. You have Guy and André LHERAUD. Guy and André LHERAUD, they are 81 years old nowadays, and they are the founder of Cognac LHERAUD. But actually, they are the 7th generation of LHERAUD making Cognac. The first time that the LHERAUD established in the little village of Armagnac, so where we are producing our Cognac, it was during the 17th century. But at that time there were farmers, no producing Cognac. They only start to plant Cognac during the beginning of the 19th century. So that's why our oldest vintage is from 1802. But during the beginning of the 19th century and 1860, Cognac, it was just for selling a bit of it at the end of the month to get some money. It was not their principal activities. Okay, they really start to make real Cognac and start to plant more and more vineyards in 1860. Okay, then they were selling their Cognac not under the name of Cognac LHERAUD, but they were selling it to the big house like Rémy Martin, NSC, Courvoisier, and Martel. But they always kept a bit of what they produce for the future. Okay, so that's why we still have this kind of vintage in our stock. 1802, 1825, 1853, 60, etc., etc. But the name of Cognac LHERAUD only starts in 1970 when Monsieur and Madame LHERAUD took over the company of the father of Monsieur LHERAUD. And then Monsieur LHERAUD stopped to sell it to the big house and he started to put his name on the bottle. Then this is the starting of Cognac LHERAUD. So actually Cognac LHERAUD is like a new brand in the landscape of Cognac region. So today, 3 generations. So Guy and André, the founders, then they are working with their son, Laurent, who is our managing director. So he's managing their everything, okay? And Laurent is also working himself with his 2 children, Jean-Charles. Jean-Charles is the cellar master. So he's the one who is managing the vineyards, the vinification, the distillation, and the aging. It's like Mr. Product, okay? He's 35 years old. He has done his first distillation when he was 16 or 17 years old. So like, it's like Obelix, you know, he's born inside of it. It's like that. And Anne-Sophie, his little sister, she's working with her grandmother. So Madame LHERAUD, she's in charge of to create the labels, create the bottle, the coffret, and she's in charge of the supplying with suppliers. And Anne-Sophie is giving help to her grandmother, and she's also helping her father with the administrative parts of Cognac. Okay?
Okay.
Good. So this is, here you have Monsieur LHERAUD, here you have Madame LHERAUD, Laurent, our managing director, so the son, and then Jean-Charles, the grandson, and Anne-Sophie here, the granddaughter. And Jean-Charles is also a father of 2 children, okay. Auguste, 7 years old, and Celeste, 5 years old. So actually there is 4 generations alive.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic, yeah. And we hope that they will continue the legacy of the LHERAUD family. Of course. The products. Nowadays we have 3 products. Cognac, of course, because this is where we are from. Pinot de Charente, that you will taste. This is a cognac liquor. So it's a blend of 1/3 of cognac and 2/3 of grape juice, but non-fermented. So it's not like a Porto or something like that, okay? And we then start to age it in oak barrels for minimum 5 years. Okay? So Cognac, Pinot de Charente, and at the end of the 90s, Monsieur LHERAUD took over a company called Baron Gaston Legrand, an estate based in Armagnac. Okay? And with all the stock that they had. So that's why now we have like a large stock of vintage from Armagnac from 1888 to 2003 for the youngest that we sell nowadays.
Fantastic.
So 3 French AOC, okay, so appellation, an exceptional selection of young and old eau de vie. One part of why we are so different is that normally the philosophy of Cognac and Armagnac, and more in Cognac, is that the blending, like you have in Champagne, you know, it's like brut, etc. There is no vintage on it. Same in Cognac, there is no vintage normally in the classic range, VS, VSOP, and XO. And normally it's a blend of different eau de vie, different age of eau de vie. VS is at least 2 years of aging. 4 years is at least VSOP, sorry, is at least 4 years of aging, and XO normally is at least 10 years of aging. Okay, so it means that for VS you can age, you can blend eau de vie from 2 years old and plus. VSOP you can blend eau de vie from 4 years old and plus, and XO it's minimum 10 years old and plus. Okay, but at Cognac LHERAUD we are so different. At Cognac LHERAUD we guarantee no blend of eau de vie from different year and different cru. I will show you in a map the different cru that we have. So it means that for the VS it's 100% 3 years of aging. VSOP 5 years aging. Napoleon that we have in Armagnac 10 years of aging, and then we have XO, so extra old, 10 years, 20 years, 30 and 40 years aging. And then we have single vintage in Armagnac and in Cognac with minimum 20 years of aging. So that's why the youngest that we have is from 2003 in Armagnac, and Cognac is a vintage 1996. For the youngest one. So over 25 years. So now we're gonna start with Baron Gaston Legrand. So it's a legacy. So what the chain that we have is like we have a legacy of 120 years of handcraft production to be continued, of course, by the LHERAUD family. So we took over the company in 1998. It's located in Lannepax. I will show you in a map where is it. Where we have so large selection of younger eau de vie, so Viez, VSOP, Napoleon, XO. And then we have a large selection from 2003 to 1888 of vintage. Okay, and of course, like in Cognac, we guarantee without any blend of different eau de vie from different vintage. So here is the map of Armagnac. So Armagnac, we are in the south of Bordeaux. Okay, Cognac, we are more in the north of Bordeaux. Okay, to show you a different region. And here it's separated by different terroirs as well. Okay, here it's more like limestone clay terroir, and here it's like a more it's not sandy but like a less more limestone. Okay. And then you have Armagnac, but Armagnac now is like privilege for wine, not for making normally eau de vie, it's for wine. Eau de vie normally now is like made in Armagnac. Even for Armagnac Ténarèze is very rare.
Oh really?
Okay, yeah. Okay. So Lannepax is over there, so this is where we have Baron Gaston Legrand. So we have 40 hectares approximately over there, and we have also some stock of old Armagnac Ténarèze that we bought with the stock of Armagnac. The distillation. So as I told you, the difference as well between Cognac and Armagnac, it's not only the terroir, but it's also the distillation. Here it's what we call, so normally Armagnac is one distillation. So it's called like a distillation in continu. So it's like one process, okay? So first of all, we have to do the fermentation, the wine fermentation, okay? Then we put the wine into the tank and we start to heat it. Then the vapor gonna be extracted from this long column, okay? And go through this tube, and then they're gonna pass into a cooler. And the wine that you have in yellow there, okay, gonna cool the they're gonna cool the vapor and transform it into alcohol. Okay, so then the alcohol that we keep here, they are approximately average of 54-55 degrees of alcohol. It can be more sometime. Okay, so that's why normally Armagnac is like lighter than Cognac. Okay, because it's only one distillation, and this kind of distillation make it something a bit more softer. Okay, but still very flavor, still a lot of aromas, etc. It's not a difference of quality. It's only a difference of flavor and style. All right. Some question? No. So then let's test. Because the time is making everything.
Cool, man.
You just have to wait. Okay, you are doing the distillation, but then the time is going to make its job. Normally, I mean, I don't know if you say that in Brazil, but in France, we love to say that the nature is beautiful. The nature is well done, because the nature is always doing great things. And normally, when the human touch something from the nature, it destroys it.
Normally.
And exactly the same with Cognac. Normally, you just put your eau de vie into cask and then you let. And the time and the nature, they will do their job. And that's why after we have like beautiful eau de vie. It's normally like very simple.
Yes.
This is what Monsieur LHERAUD loves to say. Like the nature and the life, etc. is like time is like just let it and then you wait. Sometimes you taste and you say, okay, we're gonna let it more, or okay, maybe it's ready to be. You never know. There is no recipe that you have to respect. It's like, okay, this one, we're gonna let it. This one,
feeling.
we should. Yeah, it's more about feeling. It's more about like human hurt. Okay, You know, at Cognac LHERAUD, even during the distillation, it's not controlled by any computer. It's controlled by Jean-Charles, so a human hand. Okay, he's always smelling, and he's always, every time he do a distillation, he's not respecting one recipe. You just have the harvest in front of you. He has the wine, and with this one, he's gonna do that, and with this one, he's gonna do that. He always has to adapt himself about what he has in front of him, and that's the most important. Don't respect the recipe, etc. Just like let your feeling doing the things. It's like wine. Sometimes you have to adapt because sometimes, for example, for the blend, okay, this year is gonna be 70% of Cabernet Sauvignon and 30% of Merlot, but this year is like more Merlot or more Cabernet Sauvignon. You always have to adapt. Same at Cognac LHERAUD, we always adapt. So that's why every year we don't have the same cognac, and that's why, as we are not doing any blend, we can have some difference between some years, between our VS, VSOP, etc., etc.
That's different.
Clément, what Napoleon is a style of a cognac. It's
So Napoleon is like it's like an XO. Napoleon is an appellation of Armagnac. So
it's appellation.
it's an appellation like XO, like VSOP.
And only in Armagnac.
You can have some Napoleon in cognac, but it's very rare. It's more popular in Armagnac. And here our Napoleon is 10 years old.
Okay.
Absolutely. But normally you can start Napoleon at 8 years old, but our Napoleon is 10 years old. And then we have an XO in Armagnac at 20 years old.
Oh, yeah?
That you will taste just after.
Fantastic.
As well, or Ancêtre, or Hors d'Âge, or Imperial, it's like an XO. Here, you can call your cognac Reserve, it's like a VSOP, or you can use it rare, it's like a VSOP. For VS, you can use 3-star.
Étoile? 3?
Yeah, 3 étoiles, 3 star, or selection, or deluxe. Okay, it's mean the same as VS. So sometimes you can have different appellation, but they respect the same rules than VS, VSOP, or XO.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And then you have an Armagnac, a vintage Armagnac, 1962, bottled in September
September 2022.
22. So it means it's a 60 years old Armagnac. Okay. So here, for example, you have like, that is what you get when you get the XO Armagnac. It's a certificate saying that this Armagnac, it's a blend of different eau de vie of 20 years. Okay. To make it, so to create Armagnac, handcraft Armagnac of XO 20 years. Okay. And so every time when we do that, like XO or vintage, you always receive a certificate as well to certificate and authentify the vintage. So this is what the XO for the vintage. So actually you have two dates. The first one is the date of the harvest, 1962. Okay, and then you have the date of the bottling, 16th of June 2022. This is for me the most important date. Why? Because sometimes you can have a 1962, okay, but maybe bottled in 2002. So 2002 means 40 years. But 2022, it's 60 years. So it's 20 years different, even if it's the same vintage. And as we said when we were in the swimming pool, it's like when you put a cognac or Armagnac into a bottle, glass, the aging stops. Okay, there is no more aging. So this one will remain a 60 years old Armagnac forever. So that's why sometimes I have done once. It was with Michel Chapoutier at the hotel of Michel Chapoutier in Rhône, in the Rhône Valley, and I was having a discussion with the sommelier over there, and I was with my suitcase and with some samples, and I had a sample from 1990 cognac, and he said, "Oh, I have one from Ragno Sabourin 1990. We should compare both of them." And I said, okay. But just before doing the tasting, I'd look behind the back label to see the date of bottling. And I say, okay, now let's try. We try blind tasting, blah, blah, blah. And I say, okay, this one is l'HERAUD, this one is Weinhaus. You say, how do you know? Right, this one is more complex, more flavor, blah, 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 blah. And you think, okay, let's go. Okay. And then you say, wow, well, yeah, l'HERAUD is like fantastic, blah, blah. And I say, no, it's not that because we are fantastic, etc. It's like, look, you have two vintage from 1990, but your Agneau Sabourin has been bottled in 2015. Mine has been bottled in 2020. 5 years different of aging. Same vintage, but there is another one who is much older.
It's a lot.
So that's why the date of bottling is the most important. Because then with the date of the harvest, you can calculate the age of your Armagnac or your Cognac.
A respeito de harmonizações.
So for the pairing, there is a different way. For me, for a young Armagnac or for a young Cognac, you have few possibilities. The first one is you can put it into your freezer, okay, to make it very cold.
Okay.
And then you have it just like that in your glass for aperitif.
Okay.
Okay. But as is like very, very, very cold, like freeze, the feeling of the alcohol is like not super strong. It's like super sweet.
Okay.
It's very nice. The second way is cocktail. So the cocktail that we do, for example, in France is Cognac or Armagnac with tonic water. Or ginger soda,
Okay.
or something like that. Okay. So as a cocktail to starter, or you can also enjoy at the end of your meal.
Okay.
But normally the one that you use for after your meal or for cheese as well. Cheese pairing is not too bad.
Okay.
With the blue cheese or very strong cheese, it's nice. But I will prefer at the end of the dinner like the XO or the 1962 with a nice cigar, etc.
Okay.
It's like perfect because this kind of Armagnac or Cognac, you have to pour it in your glass and then you wait minimum 50 minutes to let it breathe, to let all the alcohol get out. Okay, and then you do one cl, one drop in your mouth.
Okay.
And you taste. Then you let it for 10 minutes. Okay. Then after 10 minutes, second time. And you wait. It's like a cigar. Normally, a good Cognac or good Armagnac, you need at least 40 minutes to taste it. Because longer you wait, better the Cognac or Armagnac will be as well in your glass. Because it's all about also evaporation. It's like wine. Sometimes a red wine, when you let it in your glass and you wait for 20-30 minutes and then you taste it again, wow, it changed. It's open, it's strong. Same with Cognac. And same with
And what about chocolate?
Chocolate, yeah, this is a great thing. You can mix, normally, few years ago, I will show you, but few years ago we have done a partnership with a chocolatier, a French chocolatier. I don't remember the name, but from Paris. And they have made chocolates with some vintage Cognac of l'HERAUD.
Okay.
And I never taste because it was like 10 years ago approximately. I never taste, but apparently it's like a great pairing. Cognac and chocolate. Amazing. So yes, definitely. So that's why I say you can have it with some cheese, but also with some dessert.
Okay.
And cognac and chocolate dessert is the best.
Agora a degustação continua em meio à tempestade. Olha só que espetáculo.
120 hectares.
20.
20 hectares of hectares.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. For a family-owned business, it's a lot. 95% is nowadays, because here it's like 90, but we just bought a new estate nearby LHERAUD, so that's why now we are more than 90. We are like 120. 95% is Vin Blanc, and then 5% is like Colombard and Folk Blanche. But we use it for Pinot, LHERAUD, but not for Cognac. All our Cognac, they are 100% Vin Blanc. Okay? Sustainable agriculture, so this is what I said. If we don't need to trade the vineyards, we don't do it. Okay, we try to be we try to reduce our impact on the environment. So this is the region of Cognac. So as you can see, like in Burgundy or like in Bordeaux or like in Armagnac, we have different kind of terroir. Okay, so Grand Champagne and Champagne is limestone and clay terroir. Okay. Borderie, Fin Bois, Bon Bois, and Bois Ordinaire, it's like, so here it's like a real sandy soil, and then you have like a quiet sandy soil and limestone, it's a mix, and then here it's like limestone and clay, and here it's like almost only clay in Grand Champagne. Okay, so that's why Grand Champagne and Petit Champagne, the taste is like a sharp cognac with a long finish, a lot of finesse, very elegant, etc. If you try some cognac from Fin Bois, Bon Bois, or even Borderie, it's much more body, much more expressive, spicy, fruity, etc. You will taste Bon Bois and Grand Champagne just after.
Okay.
Cognac LHERAUD, we are located into the northeast of the Petit Champagne area, but we have few hectares in Grand Champagne here and few hectares in Fin Bois just over there, and some as well in Bon Bois. So, but for our classic range, from VS to our older XO, it's 100% Vin Blanc, 100% 1 year, so 1 year of eau de vie, and 1 cru, 100% Petit Champagne. The Grand Champagne, the Fin Bois and the Bon Bois, we keep it exclusively for our vintage.
Okay.
Okay.
D'accord.
So Grand Champagne, Petit Champagne, Fin Bois, Bon Bois, and here on the coast, nearby the ocean, Atlantic Ocean, you have, and Bordeaux is just below over there. So, okay, to transform the vapor into liquid. Okay, and then we extract the first alcohol that we get inside the cask. At the end, we have an average alcohol of 30 degrees. It's called brouillis. Okay, the brouillis. Then this brouillis, we're gonna use it and distill a second time. What we call la bonne chauffe. Okay, the good chauffe, the good heat. Same thing. We start to heat. The lightest vapor going to be extracted from the onion, then they go through the swan neck, and then go the tube, then the cooler, and then the first alcohol that we get are about 80 degrees. And then they're going to reduce with time. So 80, 79, 78, blah, 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 till approximately 6-7 degrees of alcohol. Okay. What we want normally in cognac is alcohol from 70 to 60 degrees. It's what we call the herbs. And then normally the alcohol from 80 to 70, what we call the head, we separate it from the herbs. And what is below 60, it's what we call the tail. Same, we separate it, okay? So it's what we call the cut, okay? So we separate the tail, the head with the herb, and the tail with the herb, okay? But the head and the tail, we keep it. We mix it with the first distillation, the brouillis, and we distill again. No loose at Cognac. We continue to distill till we have nothing. Almost.
Wow, okay.
No loose. Okay. In Cognac, the distillation normally starts early November. Okay, so you have, like, for example, 1 month of harvest, so early September till end of September. Fermentation early October, end of October, and then distillation from early October, November till, and it's the regulation of Cognac, till the 31st of March of the year N+1. So it means that, for example, for the vintage 2023, we have till the 31st March 2024 to do our distillation of the vintage 2023. Okay? And then, if we do the distillation on the 1st April, we cannot call it Cognac, but we can do brandy. Because brandy is a distillation of wine.
Of course.
It's only called Cognac because it's made in Cognac.
Of course.
That's all. But the Cognac is a brandy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so 31st of March, because the Cognac BNI, so the Office of Cognac, saying that normally after the 31st of March of the year N+1, the quality of the wine is not good enough to make good Cognac. But normally at Cognac LHERAUD, we finish our distillation a little bit after the 15th of March. So mid-March, normally we are open.
Okay. Clément, and the wine, the acidity and the sugar, there is a regulation in LHC or no?
Yeah, also. I don't know exactly what is the point, but yeah, normally you have to respect some point because it's also all about the quality of the wine that you are going to make. But the wine that we use for the distillation is not the wine that normally you can taste, okay? So normally the wine that we drink is about 12 degrees of alcohol. The wine that we use for distillation, the white wine, is about 8 or 9 degrees. So the acidity is like very high. Because if there is too much sugar during the distillation, the flavor are going to be too strong, then your Cognac would be too strong and it won't be, you won't have nice flavors. So that's why the wine is like a little bit lighter, so 8-9 degrees, but with very nice acidity, because a good acidity, a strong acidity in your wine gonna give good flavors and good aromas of your Cognac, and then you will be able to age it longer as well.
Very nice.